now and evermore. Amen.
You don't have to worry about nobody jumping this claim, old man. This earth's fit for burying. And that's about all. Hey, Bill.
Ma'am?
Luke Carpenter. Oh, I'd have known you anywhere.
Once upon a time, out in California, a 67-year-old man lived with his 33-year-old son. Meanwhile, up in Fairbanks, Alaska, there was this big avalanche. Get the connection? You don't.
2 days ago, there was an avalanche in Alaska. A frozen object was discovered that's been identified as your father.
After all these years.
But, Mr. Carpenter, there's something I haven't told you.
I'd like to bring the body back here.
Your father's alive.
Alive?
Whatever your father may be chronologically, physically and mentally, he hasn't aged a day since he fell in that glacier. Your father, for all intents and purposes, is 33 years old.
Not bad for 101. Don't look a day over 90.
What are you doing on the floor?
Playing with my grandson. Ma'am, I'm afraid you've got the wrong fellow.
Well, don't you know me? Annie! Red Dog Saloon. Fairbanks?
Oh, no, ma'am, I haven't been back to Fairbanks in, well, it's been quite a spell.
I'm not talking about yesterday. This was way back. Oh. I guess I'm getting dottier, and I reckon. How could you be Luke Carpenter? He was buried in an avalanche over 60 years ago. I'm sorry to have ruffled you, mister.
Wait a minute, ma'am. What do you figure on doing now that old Pay Dirt's gone?
How did you know my husband's name was Peter?
Well, actually, I have heard tell of him. That's why I came. See, my name is Carpenter. Lucius Carpenter II. And my granddaddy
was Luke Carpenter. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, Sonny, you are the spitting image of the most ring-tailed, gumptious dirt scratcher that ever ran us loose down a Klondike street.
Do tell.
Me and your granddaddy and old Pay Dirt there. We were the trio. I'll tell you the truth. I would have married him instead of Pay Dirt. If he hadn't been so married already.
I bet if he hadn't been so married, he might have been kind of sweet on you, too.
Well, if he was, he never admitted it. Well, anyways, after he was buried, then me and Pay Dirt got hitched. And it worked out pretty good, considering.
Did he leave you anything to get on with?
Him? Oof. Getting rich wasn't his long suit.
Well, look here, why don't you come on home with me?
Oh, well, now, really. Ain't I a mite mature for you, Sonny?
That's not what I meant.
I know what you meant. And you listen up. I ain't ready for this old boneyard here yet. And I don't need any handouts in memory of your granddaddy.
Same old sassy Annie.
Well, that's what your granddaddy used to call me.
Is that so? Well, I guess it just fits. Say, now, come on. You know, I got a hankering to hear some more about that old ring-tailed dirt scratcher.
I guess...
I wander around from town to town just like a roving sign. And the people all say, there goes Bill Moore from the days of the 49. Hey, hey, here's my dad. Howdy, Dad. I'd like you to meet Annie Nelson.
Oh, pleased to meet you, Sonny.
How do you do?
I knew your dad, son. One of the finest. Him and young Luke here was as alike as two sardines thin.
Yeah, you were right, Dad. It was old Pay Dirt Nelson, Granddaddy's pal. Annie here's Nelson's widow, and she's going to be staying with us for a spell.
Staying?
Yep.
I mean, well, any friend of Grandfather's.
Is welcome under any roof of ours.
Oh, now ain't that something? Just like his granddaddy. I guess that was why I was sweet, honey. And he was all so courtly. Oh, look at me, weeping. Let's have some more of that song, Luke.
I'm old Bill Moore from the Bummer's Shore in the good old golden days. Grandpa? Grandpa? I just need my pajamas. They're hanging on the back of the door.
Don't you ever knock before you go climbing into a lady's bathroom?
Who are you?
Annie Nelson. You must be Luke Jr.'s brother.
Excuse me.
Oh, I do look a mite scary. No, Pay Dirt. You just don't seem right not being able to see the stars.
I don't care if she's Lily Langtree. She just can't stay. Now, simmer down, Ken boy. I'm not at my best when I get prodded out of a sound sleep. I live here, too, you know. You could have asked me. Let me know. Well, what are you getting so head up about? I didn't give her your room.
Do you want to wake up the whole neighborhood? Can't we discuss this in the morning?
Well, I don't think Ken boy will last till then. And we're all up. We might as well settle this now.
Dad, I've been thinking. I know you feel a responsibility for Annie from the old days, and I understand. And I'll be willing to help her out financially to get settled in an old folks' home.
Old folks' home? Now, what in tarnation is that? It's a place where the elderly go to be with people of their own age.
Believe me, Dad, she'd be a lot happier there.
Your grandma lived with us till the day she died. I never heard of such a thing. Sending people to a special place just because they're old. It's the way they do things now. Well, now don't necessarily mean better. That's Annie's car. She must have heard.
Let her go, Dad. Maybe it's just as well.
Let her go. Son, if things had turned out a mite different, Annie could have been your mother. Annie, please.
My mother?
Such no skin, Lizzie. You got more things wrong with you than I do, and you're half my age. Lights won't work. Generators, oh.
Oh, wait, Annie, don't go. You got the wrong idea.
Now, you take it easy, boy. I got nothing against you. As a matter of fact, I've been feeling the old itch to get back to the desert. And as soon as I get this thing started, I'm going to go.
Yeah, but Annie, you don't have any money.
Well, I don't need it. I got this rig, I got 2 cases of beans, and I got enough gas to get me someplace where I can stake a claim. Now, if I can get this whole thing, well, you just go on home, boy. It's just plenty startling now.
Well, here, Annie, let me help you with that.
Wait a minute here. What's that?
I've always had that. It's a birthmark, I guess.
No, it ain't. That's a weasel's bite.
A weasel bite? Where would I get a weasel bite in California?
No place. You wouldn't, Fairbanks. Oh, I know that bite. I ought to. Sucked it clean. Luke! Who are you?
Come on back with me, Sassy Annie. I got a story to tell you.
Well, I've heard stranger stories. I can't recollect when.
Yeah. You got to keep it quiet, though. The Army figures I'm top secret military information.
Well, did you ever hear a prospector who couldn't keep a secret? Oh, that reminds me. I've got something here for you. Here, help me. Pull it.
What's that?
Pay dirt strong box. Look in here. There you go.
This? That's a deed to some real estate up in San Francisco made out to Mike Wilkerson. Fool's Gold Bike.
Take a look on the back.
For settlement of all claims against me, I give this property to Thomas Nelson and Lucius Carpenter. Sure. Best poker hand I ever had. Yeah, old Mike put up this deed and pay dirt back me. My straight flush down his 4 queens.
No. Keep it as a souvenir, Luke.
Oh.
Now, I got to get going here.
Say, look, Annie, would this old clunker get us to Frisco?
Why, this old clunker could get me clear to China if there's a road. Us?
Yeah. Now, this property's someplace in Frisco. I figure we ought to go up there and see what we own. We're partners, Annie.
You mean you just pick up and go?
Soon as I can change my duds and leave a note for my son. Like you said, Annie, I'm the old Luke. And it feels mighty good.
Woo-hoo! Partners! You sure this is the place?
Well, it says here the southeast corner of Tucker and Wilcox.
You been here since you were unfroze?
No, not since '99. How about you?
Nope. Pay dirt never did care much for Frisco.
Well, he might have if he knew what he owned. Well, reckon we better stake out our claim.
Start up immediately.
That's me.
Died rabbit.
Room 207.
Howdy.
Yes. May I help you?
I reckon you can. We'd like a couple of rooms.
I see.
Not too high up, mister. I get airsick.
Oh, if you'll wait a moment. But I don't believe there's anything. I'm sorry. There's nothing.
You mean to say every room in this place is taken?
That's right. I'm sorry.
You must do quite a business here.
Well, perhaps someplace down on Market Street? Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Single with a king-size bed and a southern exposure.
Yes, sir. I believe room 412 would suit you.
Now, hold on. I thought you were full up.
We are. This gentleman has a reservation.
Then why didn't you ask him for it?
What goes on here?
Now, look here, Sonny. Just because I'm not wearing a dead rabbit and carrying a dinky little dog.
Did you refuse these people accommodations?
Thank you, friend, but I can handle my own affairs.
Now, just a moment. Just a moment, please. Perhaps there is something. That'll be $38 in advance.
In advance? The Golden Nugget was the best hotel in Fairbanks, and they never asked for money in advance.
Please, sir, you'll have to keep your voice down.
I think it's high time I straightened you out. Read that. Southeast corner of Tucker and Wilcox. Thomas Nelson and Lucius Carpenter. This lady's Nelson's widow, and I'm Lucius Carpenter. We own this place. Annie? You all right?
Sure, but I wish I could have landed that last pick. Oh, that teller's pretty quick.
Well, I could say I've been thrown out of better places, but I haven't.
Luke, let's go.
Where to? Well, they can't kick us off our own property.
Well, it seems like they've done a pretty good job of it.
Well, yeah. I reckon they got a point about the hotel. There's nothing in here about that, but we own the land it's built on, don't we?
For all the good it's done us.
Yeah. Annie, I've had a long day. If there's one thing I just can't abide, it's a claim jumper.
I don't care if they show you the Magna Carta. Send for the police.
Colonel Galloway, this is indeed a pleasure.
Don't give me any explanations, Carpenter. I couldn't take it.
Take what?
No excuses, no explanations. I've got it right here.
I don't know what you're talking about, Colonel. He said he was going to help Annie get settled. I thought he meant out in the desert. She's a prospector.
What were they prospecting for in front of the Fairmark Hotel? Asphalt? Come on, let's go.
To San Francisco?
This is the evening paper. I don't want to wait for the morning edition to discover they've invaded the White House. I've got a plane waiting. This is top priority.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. He won't say anything. He knows he has to keep his identity a secret.
Oh, yeah? Then how come he told the cops he won the Fairmark Hotel in a poker game in 1897?
I'll get my coat.
It's all right, son. The colonel got the charges dropped, so we're free.
Oh, what happened? You were right, Dad. You were absolutely right.
I knew it, son. I knew.
He's your father. What's this all about, Carter?
I had the title searched. In 1872, this property was deeded to Mike Wilkes.
That fool's gold, Mike.
Now, in 1907, after the earthquake, they had an investigation trying to get everyone to re-register the property, but Wilkes never showed up.
Because he'd already lost the property to old Paydirt and me. Yeah, but what I can't figure out is why Paydirt never showed up to claim it.
I have the answer to that, too. He was wanted in San Francisco on an assault and battery charge.
That old son of a gun.
You mean to tell me this thing is valid?
Colonel, I'm a real estate man. Believe me, I've seen property change hands on much flimsier evidence than this.
He can't get involved in this. He's a military secret.
My father owns the Fairmark Hotel, and you're telling me he can't get involved?
You mean we own it legal? Huh? Diggity.
You know, Colonel, you're right. I promised I wouldn't let on who I was, and I won't go back on my word. But now Annie here, she's in on the secret, and she's got a stake in this, too.
Oh, yes. And you know us old ladies, Colonel. Loose tongues can't keep secret. Well, I just might let on what I know about loose and not even know what I was doing.
The Colonel says it's all right, son. What now?
I have an appointment with a lawyer. Come on, Dad.
He's your son. Please. He's your son.
Okay? Now, assuming that this deed is valid, the Fairmark will fight it with everything they've got, which is plenty.
I never turned out a fight yet, mister.
Neither did I.
It could take 5 years, 10 years. Enormous court costs to say nothing of my fees.
But you take it on a contingency basis, wouldn't you?
I might. On one condition, that you, madam, can prove to me that you can pay, let's say, 70 years in back taxes.
Oh, that tears it. I haven't even got enough to pay for a parking ticket, which I got out in front.
Well, I guess that's that.
Now, hold on, Colonel. Hey, Mr. Hopper, the Fairmark Hotel doesn't know that Annie doesn't have the money to pay back taxes.
Well, they'd find out soon enough.
Well, yeah, but, did you play poker, Mr. Hopper?
A 70-year-old document with an unverified signature on the back. You must be pulling my leg, of course.
Mr. Wexler, my client is a very determined woman. She intends to fight this thing through to the end.
Well, fight away. I can't imagine you getting very rich on it.
I told you he wouldn't listen, Mr. Hopper. Any place that'd manhandle an 86-year-old woman.
Oh, just a minute, young man.
I think my son is right. We should have gone to the newspapers first.
No. It's only fair that we give them the opportunity to make a settlement first.
Yeah. Well, with the world situation and all, I don't reckon they put it on the front page.
No,
But I bet they printed on the inside for quite a spell.
What are you talking about?
Fairmark Hotel persecutes 86-year-old woman.
86-year-old widow manhandled in lobby of Fairmark.
Fairmark property acquired illegally, widow asserts.
But then I reckon you people are big enough so that kind of publicity won't hurt you.
Gentlemen, just a moment, please. We don't want to be unfair. If the lady has a claim, well, why don't you all sit down and let's discuss the matter?
Dress shops, hairdressers, the works.
They give her the run of the shops, too?
Just for a new wardrobe.
As a matter of fact, he insisted on it.
I reckon Mr. Wexler thought he made a good bargain when he swapped that deed for room and board for life. He don't know I got 20 good years left. Oh, that reminds me.
Yes, ma'am.
Johnny on the spot, ain't he? I want you to tell those boys I don't want no more air conditioning in my room. You tell them to stop closing those windows. I want them open day and night.
Yes, madam.
And, I've been looking over the bill of fare in the restaurant. I don't see no beans. I'm partial to beans.
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 I'll speak to the chef.
Granny, I reckon we better be heading back. I surely hope you'll be happy here.
Well, it ain't the desert, but I guess it'll do. Oh, Colonel, Sonny.
Goodbye, Annie.
Oh, Luke. I sure wish you was 50 years older.
You keep forgetting, Sassy Annie. I am.
You never did that in the old days.
You never looked so pretty in the old days.
Tune in again tomorrow morning at 11 for more laughs on the USA Comedy Hour. Now stay tuned as Heartaches of Hollywood Week continues with the tragic story of pop stars Jan and Dean. Dead Man's Curve on the USA Movie next.